Thanks to the over 4,000 subscribers who's joined the Ravens Space Flock, let's talk about the breakout candidates for next season. And right now, the bullseye is on Nate Wiggins.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Based on Pro Football Focus's review and analysis, they said that Nate Wiggins will be a breakout candidate for the Baltimore Ravens in 2025. And I'm going to list some reasons why I think he can break out, have a great season, and become one of the best players on the Baltimore Ravens defense and potentially one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And the first reason is his great play in his rookie year. Being a rookie at the cornerback position is one of the hardest things to do. Very seldom does a rookie come in and become one of the best players in the league. You see that at other positions like running back and receiver, where players can come in and have an instant impact. Cornerback is the second hardest position, and Nate Wiggins performed very well in his rookie campaign. When we go to see Pro Football Focus's rating of Nate Wiggins, we can see a couple things jump off at our screens. First, he was the 25th best cornerback in the National Football League, which means that on some teams, he is a number one cornerback. Being a rookie and having the ability to be some teams' number one cornerback is just super impressive. And when we take a deeper dive into the information that we see, we can see that Pro Football Focus breaks down his run defense grade and is the 9th best cornerback in run defense in the entire football league, which is great, and especially where that was his weakness coming into the league. People thought that even though he was tall, he was very skinny and wouldn't be able to come up and make tackles and was looked as a coverage specialist. When we look at the coverage grades, 36 of all cornerbacks, and then his pass rush grades are 76. I'm mostly going to focus on the run defense grade and the coverage grade when evaluating him, just because pass rush is something that you get a good grade when you're schemed well, as opposed to coverage and defense where you have to come up and make tackles. That is not a scheme. You just got to do that. And when it comes to coverage, you have to stick people. You have to cover them. In his rookie season, he was extremely effective at both pass coverage and run coverage. That makes it easier for us to project that he'll break out because he's already good. He's just not great. And so that's one of the reasons I think that he will be great, is because he's proven that he's already good and can make that next step. Another reason that I think he can break out is because I think the defense will be overall better next year, and our defensive coordinator will improve as well. You got to remember that there were a lot of changes with this team last year. We had a new defensive coordinator going from one of the brightest minds of the defensive coordinator, so bright that he was able to get a job with his second year as a defensive coordinator, to Zach Orr, who it was his first time being a coordinator. He was a player moving to a coordinator, which is a different view. And when you're a player, other players look at you kind of as a ally, kind of as a person that knows what they've gone through, and less like their boss. When you're a coordinator who's never played with these guys, then people look at you like, oh, the boss right away. There was obviously some growing pains there. But as the season kept on going, the defense got better and better and better. Specifically, the pass defense got better and better and better, which helps Nate Wiggins. Nate Wiggins is a player who's a rookie, so he will be confused. But when everyone else is confused too, it makes him look worse, and he just doesn't improve as quickly. However, next year, I fully expect that the Ravens have solved their safety problem. I fully expect they either go get another safety or they'll stick with the Kyle Hamilton or Darius Webb deep two combination. Now, on the other side at cornerback, I also expect that they're going to get an improved cornerback other than Brandon Stephens. Brandon Stephens was ranked one of the worst cornerbacks in the National Football League last year. Even a small improvement there will help the overall defense. There's a saying that a high tide raises all ships, and this is what I think will happen as well that will help out Nate Wiggins. There will be safety help consistently. I think Kyle Hamilton will be able to do what Kyle Hamilton does even more, because we'll go get another safety that follows the game plan. And then we'll replace Brandon Stephens with a better cornerback, which means that there's just going to be strength everywhere on the defense, which means Nate Wiggins will get better and perform better with increased defensive synergy. And this is just something that I think is going to be obvious to us when we see the team next year, about how crisp the defense plays and how Nate Wiggins benefits from that. He'll know where everyone is. He'll know when he has help. He'll know when he can cheat. He'll know all that great stuff. Will be able to use his speed to just make plays because he knows that he doesn't have to stay home, because he has confidence that the The middle of the field will be safer because Kyle Hamilton will be there. And he knows he'll have Ardarius Washington back there, along with whatever safety the Ravens bring in to help in order to cover the places where he will be weak. So I think that will help him improve altogether and make sure that he is the best that he can be. Lastly, simply, more experience makes you a better player. And especially in a case where you have elite physical tools, you're able to rely on those tools more and more. If you watch the games closely, you could see that Nate Wiggins wasn't able to kind of just rely on his speed and his physical tools to get the job done because he's learning. He's not really just going with what he sees, his first sight, his first instinct just yet in the NFL. The game has to slow down for him. And when it slows down for him, he'll be able to kind of use that blazing speed and that height to his advantage. And I think we're all going to be lucky as Ravens fans when he's able to actually cross that next barrier. We saw something similar with Patrick Queen when he was a Raven. For the first couple of years, he was just bad. He was not really thinking things through. He wasn't able to just process and go. But at the later stages, he was able to do that. And now I really do think that Nate Wiggins will be able to just process and go and be better at it in the next year. So I think he'll be able to take those physical skills that we all know he has and really be able to dominate different players because of his speed and his height. And then you have all the other things that experience brings you once you're able to kind of take that next step. Just knowing where to be, just knowing what the quarterback is going to do, the difference in how quarterbacks react to different things, getting better at baiting quarterbacks into making throws that they think are safe but aren't really safe because you have the speed to get there. All of these things will come as experience. He already can play at the highest levels. We know that from his ranking. We know that from the way he played. We know that from the fact that teams wanted to attack the other side and not attack him. With experience, he'll be able to take that to another level. And I think we'll be able to rival Marlon Humphrey for the number one cornerback spot on this team. We're going to see how it goes. All these reasons, I think he will be a breakout player. And I do agree with Pro Football Focus, where I would say he has the lead in all of our players into being the next great Ravens player. I'm excited to see what happens with him. I want you guys to let me know in the comments below. Do you think he'll be a breakout player? And if not, who do you think will be the breakout player? Let me know. Thanks guys for watching, and go Ravens. See you next time.